Welcome to this video against Podur, 2000 rated. Let's see what kind of opening we get. So, okay, here I like to take in the center, because afterwards we can attack immediately and gain space. And now we have the ideal center here. What I don't like to do is now to play knight f3, because bishop g4 would be okay then. So let's just develop the other knight first, because this is the ideal square. Okay, he attacks d4, and again I don't want to play knight f3. I like to play bishop e3 here to protect this pawn. So he needs to decide what to do with his bishop now. So I hope for e6, then I can just develop my knight to f3. If he plays, okay, g6 was also, I could have played h3 at a later time also to avoid this. Okay, here I think he also might sacrifice the knight here with d4. Okay, he doesn't. So I'm thinking about playing queen b3 just to get the rook over to d1, because he might play c6. At the moment, however, after c6 I can push maybe for d6. Although this pawn might be a bit lost here. Okay, I think I play h3 now, because the knight belongs to f3 and I want also to attack the pawn here on e5. So what would be interesting here is maybe playing queen b3 and knight b5. Also rook c1 might be an idea in connection with knight b5. What I like to do is, I think I just develop and attack the pawn on e5. So if you play c6, I can take this. We exchange queens, and then the pawn on e5 would be hanging. So he would need to do something about this. Okay, he doesn't care at all. Yeah, he wants to take the pawn on d5 later. So attacking, undermining e4, and then attacking d5. So maybe it's a good time to get the king out of the center. So he needs to take back with the knight, I thought. So the king in the center. This looks really strange. Wow. I mean, here I think I like to sacrifice this pawn even. I mean, if he takes here now, I win a lot of time. I threaten knight c5 also, bishop c5 afterwards. Yeah, he can take the bishop on e3, and he can also take the pawn on b2. I don't mind. I think now it's much more important to bring out the rooks, because the king is very, very dangerously placed here in the center, and you can see that the bishop and the rook here, they have a hard time to get into the game very quickly. So I already threatened to play knight b5 here, and then attacking on c7, and I can also place my queen here on a4 and the other rook on d1. Yeah, this is so, he wants to avoid this, but as you can see, I can still play queen a4. b5 doesn't work because I can just take with the knight. I thought I can take with the knight. Is there a problem? I think it should be okay here. So now I simply take the rook. Well, and here I threaten to play knight f7. The knight is also very good here on e6. Maybe I can already sacrifice here on c7 also. If he moves the queen, for example, to g6. Rook c7 might be an idea. Rook c7, king takes, bishop e6. Okay. What does he want to play after knight f7? I threaten queen d8 mate, and if he moves and takes here, still there's a mate. Well, I think this is pretty deadly. So I attack the queen, and at the same time queen d8 mate is a threat. Yes, so this worked quite nicely. So what to learn from this game? I think the most important theme in this game is if you are able to force your opponent, or that your opponent keeps the king in the center, then you should try to open up lines as quick as possible. And even if it costs pawns, or here if you get exchanged a very good piece like the bishop here on e3, as you can see, all my pieces are very active. So the rook is placed on c1, and it's attacking here also the pawn on c7. The queen is very good here, controls all the squares on the 8th rank, and also here might go to c6 if the knight moves and the queen is not there. And the rook here is also well placed because it protects the knight on f7, and all the f file is also here under control. So and the opposite is true for black. So you can see that this rook here is just protecting here his own pieces and doesn't have a square to move to, and this bishop here can't move as well. So yeah, in this game you can see that after king d7 it was very important to very quickly develop and then try to use open files against the black king. Thanks for watching.